So if you're looking only internal to your team or to your firm, you're going to hear a very consistent message. But then looking outside, using the AIA for networking or other industry and professional organizations to meet people who might be thinking about things differently and open your eyes to what the future could hold for you.
Hello from the AIA North Carolina Center for Architecture and Design, and welcome to Talking to the Wall. Talking to the Wall is a vlog series where each episode explores different questions that individuals in the design community seem to never want to talk about or answer. My name is Walt Teague. I was a practicing architect for 33 years, and currently I'm the creative director for Think Strategy. Think Strategy is bringing this to you in a series of episodes where we explore a different question for each episode. Our topic for today is actually career development, and I have an outstanding individual that is with us today that is very capable in talking about this topic, Megan Bowles. Megan is an architect. She's the past operation manager of LS3P, a prominent Southeast architectural firm. Currently, she's the owner of a design consulting business, Lucy Hawk. She's also president-elect of AIA North Carolina. So thank you very much for being with us for this episode, Megan.
Absolutely, Walt. Thanks for having me.
So the question that for today is a question that surfaced from a survey that we did asking individuals young and old in the design community, what are some of these questions? It seems like you never really get a good answer for. So the question today is, what are the most important considerations for effective career development? So we want to explore that some today with you, Megan, because you can provide so much insight on this. It's hard to talk about career development without talking about not only professional goals, but personal goals. So, Megan, perhaps you can talk a little bit about how you structure your career goals and your personal goals.
Yeah. So where I start is I start with purpose, and that's a really personal thing. It's different for every one of us. It hinges on what our skills are, what our interests are. So for myself, what I think about is what is the legacy that I want to leave, and how can I do that with each day of my life, whether that's personal or professional or everything in between. And so for me, I really get excited about investing in other people and creating the space and an environment in which they can succeed. So whether that's with my family or that's at work in building team, it's looking at how can I position other people to do their best work, whatever that might be. Whether it's designing a building or it's leading a client, I want to help create the environment in which they can do that.
So there's a tremendous amount of crossover between personal and professional goals. You have to can't think about one without thinking about the other. So what do you think firms can do to make employees feel supported and encourage them to grow?
Sure. So I think that it really starts with having a level of personal relationship. I don't think that means that you have to be best friends with everybody that you work with, but caring about them as individuals. And so it starts with a conversation, it starts with listening, understanding what it is that your team members want to accomplish, and recognizing that that might change from day one to day 101. And just being attuned to that and helping them navigate both the system and a little bit of life. When we enter the profession, we don't know exactly what we want to do. We don't even fully understand what the profession is. And when we think about the future and how everything's evolving, the profession today is going to be very different than the profession tomorrow. We can already look back and see how different it is than it was 20 and 30 years ago. And with the pace that change is happening, it's going to be very, very different in 30 years. And so helping people realize how can they take their personal interest and tie that into what the firm's doing, what the profession's doing, and how they can help be a part of that future.
So really, when you're talking about the relationships that you have, you're talking about mentorship. Talk some about how how mentorship should play into your career development.
Sure. So I think that mentorship is, again, it ties into professional and personal. One of the biggest things that I think is important is recognizing that no one person is going to be your only mentor from today for the rest of your career. You need people who touch different aspects of your life. So I often will go to one person when I'm thinking about my brand and how I want to talk about myself. And then I'll go to a different person when I need advice about having a hard conversation. And so that's one of the things that's really important to consider individually when you're looking for a mentor. And then as a firm leader, when you're looking to create that atmosphere of mentorship and that culture of investing in other people, is recognizing that it's not one on one so much as it is creating a culture and a network of mentors for yourself and for your team.
When you're talking about seeking out input from individuals, depending on what the challenge or what the issue may be, I
Hmm.
mean, it's really brilliant. It should
Hmm.
free up people
Hmm.
to think about the fact that they need to have a circle or a number of people that
Hmm.
they can go to, and
Hmm.
it's going to change. You're
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
right. You're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
it's definitely going to change, and even your relationship with your mentors is going to change. I think about one individual who came to me early in her career seeking advice on how she could grow professionally and become the best architect possible. And now she's a close friend and colleague who
Hmm.
I count on
Hmm.
for advice just because our relationship has changed over the last 8 to 10 years. So recognizing that that's going to happen. Also, your mentors may come from within and come from without. I think that's really great and even important to seek is to come up with diverse perspectives. So if you're looking only internal to your team or to your firm, you're going to hear a very consistent message. But then looking outside, using the AIA for
Hmm.
networking or other industry and professional organizations to meet people who might be thinking about things differently and open your eyes to what the future could hold for you.
So I think you've just touched on some of this, but you are a recognized leader within the profession.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a leader, how do you help employees and emerging professionals progress in their careers?
Sure. Um, Again, the biggest thing is finding out what is it that they want to do, who do they want to
Hmm.
become, and then it's really about making connections for them. So that could be a connection to resources, helping them find the information that they don't have, giving the opportunity to experience something that maybe they think they want to do, but haven't ever got to try before. And then sometimes, honestly, it's connecting them to different people,
Hmm.
recognizing when I'm not the right person to help them with something, and then connecting them to whomever that might be. And again, that could be someone within the firm that is going to give them a really great opportunity to try something new, or it could be connecting them with an organization outside the firm where they can practice leadership or have an opportunity to stretch their skills or explore new interests and passions.
And that is one of the really valuable things about engaging and becoming involved in other professional
Hmm.
organizations
Hmm.
such as the
Sure.
AIA, because you can establish those relationships and broaden
Yeah.
your pool of people that are mentors for
Hmm.
you. So after this conversation, let's take it back to the original question of the day for
Sure.
this episode, which was, what are the most important considerations for effective career development?
Hmm.
So I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask, what's a clear, concise answer for that?
Sure. So I think for career development, it's really about exploring and discovering what it is that you want to do personally, and then fitting that into what works with and serves other people.
Hmm.
So deciding what it is you want to do, and then how does that fit within the firm or the profession at large.
Excellent,
Yep.
excellent. I'm going to let that be the last word, Megan. This has
Okay.
been outstanding. Thank you so much for being here to help answer one of these questions it seems like everybody wants to avoid oftentimes. And thank you for being a part of this episode of Talking to the Wall. Talking to the Wall is presented by Think Strategy. Think Strategy is based here in North Carolina, but provides business services throughout the United States, primarily to the design and construction industry, as we advise companies as they grow, perform, and transition in ownership. Thank you very much.